All right, everyone. Today, we are diving deep into the complete toolkit for building AI agents you can actually rely on. We're going to walk through the entire journey, from that first spark of an idea, that simple prototype, all the way to a full-blown production-ready system. So here's our game plan. First, we'll unpack the big challenge with agents today. Then, we'll introduce the solution, what we're calling the Agent Engineering Stack. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the frameworks for building and the platform for managing them, see how it's all working in the real world, and then we'll wrap it all up with the one big thing you need to remember.
Okay, so let's get right into it. To really get why this stack is such a game changer, you first have to understand the fundamental problem, the real headache that comes with building AI agents.
I mean, the promise is just massive, right? We've all seen the demos. These things can be incredible co-pilots. They can be researchers that never sleep. They can be support assistants that are super efficient. The potential here to completely change how we work is, well, it's huge.
And here it is. This is the big question. It's one thing to build a cool demo that works most of the time. It's a completely different thing to build a reliable product that you can actually ship. How do you control something that is, by its very nature, non-deterministic? Something that might give you a different answer every time. That's the core of the problem right there.
And this slide, this just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly sums up the pain every single engineer feels. Trying to debug an agent, it's a total nightmare. The outputs are just a swell of text. Trying to figure out if it's actually getting better or worse, that's a moving target. And your typical cloud setup, it just wasn't built for these kinds of weird, long-running tasks. It's a whole new world of engineering challenges.
So, that brings us to the solution, a dedicated stack built from the ground up to solve exactly these problems. It's a holistic approach to the whole lifecycle of an agent. Now, don't think of this as just a single tool. It's more like a complete workbench. It's an entire ecosystem that has your back through the whole process, from writing that very first line of code all the way to scaling your agent up to serve millions of people.
And this is a really crucial point. The stack is basically broken down into two main parts that work together. First, you've got the open source frameworks. These are the tools you use to actually build the thing. And second, you have an engineering platform that you use to manage it.
Let's dig into that build pillar first and see how it works. Because when you start, you have to choose your foundation. And it really comes down to this classic trade-off. Do you want speed or do you want control?
And this just lays it out perfectly. Honestly, think of it like building with Legos. LangChain is like getting one of those awesome pre-designed Lego kits. It's fast, it's simple, you follow the instructions, and you get a fantastic result really quickly. LangGraph, on the other hand, is like getting a giant tub of individual Lego bricks. It gives you absolute, fine-grained control to build whatever you can imagine, step by step. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote from a principal software engineer really says it all. LangGraph isn't just for toy projects. It's the foundation for building the heavy-duty, complex, scalable systems that can handle real-world automation and deliver that magical, it-just-works feeling. Okay, so you've built your agent. Now what? Let's talk about that second pillar, managing the whole lifecycle. And for that, we need to talk about LangSmith. The best way to think about LangSmith is as your mission control center. For so long, agents have been this unpredictable black box. LangSmith is what turns on the lights. It gives you the visibility, the tools, the control you need to turn that black box into a system you can actually understand and manage. And it really boils down to three main jobs that, hey, should sound familiar. They map directly back to those production problems we talked about. You get observability, so you can actually see what's going on. You get evaluation, so you can measure and improve quality. And you get a deployment platform built to reliably ship these things. This right here is the game changer for debugging. No more guessing. It lets you trace every single thought, every single tool call, every step your agent takes. The black box is gone. You can finally see inside. And this takes care of the quality problem. Instead of just hoping your agent is getting better, evaluation gives you a real systematic process to test it, score its performance, and iterate. It's how you get from a shaky prototype to a product that's genuinely great. And the best part is, you can get this visibility right now for free. The LangSmith free plan gives you 5,000 traces every single month. That is more than enough to start digging in, debugging your agent, and really understanding what it's doing.
So all this theory sounds good, right? But the real question is, does this stack actually hold up in production? Let's look at the proof. Let's see what real teams are doing with it.
I mean, the results speak for themselves. These aren't small gains. Klarna used this stack and cut their customer support time by a staggering 80%. Elastic is speeding up security for over 20,000 customers. And Rakuten used it to build an entire internal platform so their teams could build their own agents. That's real impact.
And if you look at the developer community, the adoption is just off the charts. We are talking about more than 90 million downloads of these open source frameworks every single month. That level of engagement from developers is just incredible.
And with over 100,000 stars on GitHub, well, in the open source world, that's the ultimate seal of approval. It tells you that this isn't some niche experimental thing. This is a trusted, battle-tested core part of the modern AI stack. Okay, so we've seen the problem, we've walked through the solution, and we've looked at the real-world proof. Let's bring this all home and focus on the most important thing to take away from all this.
Look, here's what it all comes down to. For a while now, building AI agents has felt like fumbling around in the dark. This stack turns on the lights. It gives you the visibility and control you need, it lets you iterate fast, and it gives you the rock-solid infrastructure to perform at scale. It's the difference between crossing your fingers and hoping your agent works and actually engineering one that you know will. And you can do it all without getting locked into any single AI model. It's the complete system we've been waiting for. So this ecosystem makes building production-grade agents not just possible, but actually practical. The biggest roadblocks have been cleared. Which leaves us with one last and I think very exciting question to think about. With these tools in your hands, what problems are you going to solve?